Good evening, everyone. Call to order the meeting of Board of Adjustment, City of Delray Beach on April 4th, 2024. Diane, please call the roll.
Laura Ramirez.
Here.
Brenda Cullinan.
Here.
John Deleco.
Here.
Is that pronounced right?
Delicio.
Delicio, thank you. Jesse Slasser.
Here.
Tiana Morales.
Here.
Richard Kasser is absent. Alec Hayes.
Here. Are there any changes to the agenda? Can someone please make a...
No changes.
No? Can someone please make a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Laura Ramirez.
Here.
You approve. Brenda Cullinan.
Yes.
John Delacio.
Yes.
Jesse Slasser.
Yes.
Tiana Morales.
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent. Alec Hayes.
Yes. We do not have any minutes today to approve. Now we are going to have swearing in the public. Please know that if you are planning to speak on any items tonight, you need to be sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. By the authority vested in me, the notary of the state of Florida, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Is there anyone in the public tonight who wishes to speak on the subject that is not on the agenda? I don't think that we have anyone. This hearing shall be conducted in accordance with the City of Delray Beach quasi-judicial rules. The applicant and the city shall be permitted to present their case. The public shall be allowed to speak for 3 minutes each, or a maximum of 6 minutes if the person represents an organization or a group of people who are present but agree not to speak. The board members, staff, and the applicant may be allowed to cross-examine a witness. The city or the applicant will be allowed to offer rebuttal testimony. The decision to approve or deny an application or appeal may not legally be made upon personal views as to whether a project is a good project or not, nor may a decision be based on the numbers of citizens who support or oppose a particular project. The law requires that all decisions must be made on the basis of whether the project meets the requirements of law, the comprehensive plan, and the land development regulations. And the first item on today's agenda is 690 Eagle Circle 2024-047, consideration of 2 variance requests from Land Development Regulations, Section 434K, Development Standards Matrix, Residential Zoning Districts, to reduce the front north setback to 23 feet, whereas a minimum of 30 feet is required, and to reduce the required side street setback, Eagle Drive, to 11 feet 3 inches, whereas a minimum of 15 feet is required, associated with an addition to the existing single-family residence. Before we start, do we have an ex parte communication? No ex parte communication, and we're going to start with applicant's presentation, please.
Thank you, board members. Alexi Howell, Senior Planner. For the record, I'd like to enter file number 2024-047, and the applicant is here today to make a presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm here today in regards to our variance request for 690 Eagle Circle. Our single-family home is located in the Tropic Palms neighborhood. We're requesting a variance to the setback requirements. We're requesting a reduction in the front setback from 30 feet to 23 feet and a reduction of the side setback from 15 feet to now 11 feet and 3 inches. This would allow us room to expand our current 1-car garage into a 2-car garage, while also removing the current legal nonconformity. Okay. There are some drawings over here. I think we actually have a slide that zooms it in and you can see it better. Let me just skip over to that one. Okay, we met several weeks ago for a variance request, and since we have reduced the request by 1 foot while providing more details to the interior dimensions as requested. There are several variance criteria that must be met. The first and most important is, does a special condition exist? It does. Single-family residences require at least 2 spaces, and said spaces shall not be located within the front or the side street setback. Currently, 1 parking space is counted within the 1-car garage beyond the setback area, whereas the second parking spot is located on the driveway within the front setback area. The existing conditions are considered a legal nonconformity. By allowing this variance, we would conform to the requirement of having 2 spaces outside of the required setback. Okay, I think this is the picture of the current garage. In addition, I would like to add that the existing 1-car garage is insufficient to safely park 1 car. Let me just put back this. As you can see, by modern standards, this is a small family car and it just barely fits into the garage with insufficient room to safely open doors without damaging either the car or the garage. Criteria B. The literal interpretation of the regulations would deprive the applicant the rights of commonly enjoyed by other properties subject to the same zoning. And yes, as you can see on the pictures here, these homes are within our neighborhood and currently have 2-car garages. Okay. And third, special condition and circumstances have not resulted from actions of the applicant. And again, we're not asking for special privilege, just the enjoyment of a 2-car garage that can be found in the Tropic Palms neighborhood. Okay, so this is a more zoomed in, since our last meeting, I know this was something that we all went over and needed to be better explained. If we do 26 feet of external width, that would bring us to 24 feet and 3.5 inches in internal width, and I have it broken down here by our architect. What would that entail? So external width will be 26 feet, and 10.25 inches is lost on each side due to stucco, concrete block, metal flooring, and finished drywall, bringing the internal width to 24 feet and 3.5 inches. And we have it broken down here. 5 to 8 inches of stucco, 8-inch concrete block, 7 8-inch metal flooring, 3/4 inch finished drywall on each side. That would equal the internal width to 24 feet and 3.5 inches. By granting this variance, you will allow us to update our home to its best use as a single family, removing some of the drawback of the homes built in the 1970s. The proposed addition will be in harmony with the rest of our neighborhood. And I think that's just more pictures. There's another drawing here of the addition. And I guess I am ready for questions.
Did you state your name and address?
Oh, I'm sorry. Elena Gospodinova, 690 Eagle Circle, Delray Beach, Florida, 33444.
Thank you. And now we'll be moving to staff's presentation.
Good evening, board members. Alexi Howell, senior planner. Today before you is 2 variances for the front and side street setback for 690 Eagle Circle. I'm just going to briefly go over it since I think we're most familiar with the project already. It's in the Tropic Palms neighborhood, low density land use with a R1 AA single family residential zoning district. It's on a corner lot. Right now it meets all the setbacks. So the side street setback, the house is set back from the side street at 25.1 feet, 30 feet from the front, and 18.5 from the interior, and setback 19.3 from the rear. So the request has been amended to request a 23 foot front setback, whereas the 30 foot is required. Compared to the last time we were here on March 7th, it was a 22 foot requirement for the front, so they increased it to 23, which is 1 foot. And they also are requesting 11 feet and 3 inches to the side street. The last request at the March 7th meeting was 10 feet. So they've increased it to about 1 foot. Here is the side street view of the proposed addition area. And here are the required findings. And quickly, the analysis of the front setback. Here is the addition. You can see outlined in red is where that front setback starts to encroach into the setback. Did I say that right? No. And where the curvature of the road, that's where we're measuring it from. So it is impacted by that curvature of the road, and therefore it's a 23 foot setback from there. And for the side street, outlined here in red is where the actual addition is encroaching into the setback. The rest is conforming, is outside of the setback. And here are the board options. Move approval for the front setback of 23 feet, or deny at 23 feet, or continue with the direction, as well as the side street is 11 feet 3 inches, approval or denial, or continue with direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on this subject? Nobody. And do we have any rebuttal or cross-examination from anyone? No. All right, we're going to be moving to board discussion. Aura, do you have any questions? We're going to start from the left today.
So I do have questions. How much of the setbacks, so increase 1 more feet from last meeting?
For the front setback, yes. It was 22 feet. Now it's 23 feet setback. So it's a requirement of 30 feet. So they actually reduced the setback, or increased reduced or pushed back the structure to increase the front setback of by 1 feet.
Got it.
I think that's at the front.
At
And
the front.
In the front, yeah.
on the side is 1 feet 3 inches, right?
The side, yes, the
Yeah.
side we are
Got it.
reducing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if this is approved, then there won't be no problem anymore, you're saying?
Correct.
Now that you've gotten everything
Yes.
since our last meeting, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then my other question is more to her. Can I ask her a question since we're on the same board?
Yeah, we
Can
can
that be? Okay. How, in the measurement for this garage, what do you think about the,
It's a good size garage, but it was reduced in size. Now it's more,
got it, okay,
what 2-car garage dimensions are.
got it, okay.
I do not have any questions. Anyone else?
I have a question for the city. Is the 19-foot right-of-way pretty standard dimension, or is that neighborhood specific?
So the overall right-of-way width is 60 feet. The 19 foot that you're referencing to is the swale, which is the green area that you see.
Okay, that's just
Yeah.
from the street
The edge
line.
of the street,
Yes,
yeah.
they're just calling it. Okay, so that really doesn't go into consideration. It's just the overall 60.
Right, the comprehensive plan requires a 60 foot wide right-of-way, which it is right now at 60 foot.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions from anyone?
No questions.
Should we move to board?
The chairs of the board's ready. So just as a reminder, with the Board of Adjustments, I'll actually read the board order. We'll go individually through all 6 elements, and Diane will do a roll call. The order is drafted in a way that if you find that the evidence supports granting the variance, then the vote is yes. After the 6 elements are read and the vote's taken, depending on what the result is, I'll provide advice to the board on whether it should be a motion to grant or deny. Additionally, just as a reminder for everybody, Board of Adjustments does require a supermajority or specifically 5 board members in order to support an element. Okay. And Chair will start with the side street setback. So this will be the Board of Adjustments final board order for file number 2024-047 for the property located at 690 Eagle Circle. It's consideration of a variance request to Land Development Regulations Section 4.3.4K to allow a side street setback of 6 feet 3 inches. Pursuant to Land Development Regulations Section 2.4.11A5, following consideration of all the evidence and testimony, the Board of Adjustment for the City of Delray Beach finds as follows. 1, that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land structure or building involved and which are not generally applicable to other land structures or buildings subject to the same zoning. Ms. Miller?
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
2, that literal interpretation of the regulations would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties subject to the same zoning.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
3, that the special conditions and circumstances have not resulted from the actions of the applicant.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
4, that the granting the variance will not confer onto the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other land structures and buildings under the same zoning.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
5, that the reasons established in the variance petition justify the granting of the variance and that the variance is the minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
And 6, that the granting the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of existing regulations and will not be injurious to the neighborhood or be otherwise detrimental to the public welfare.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
Okay, as a board, you have made findings that the evidence supports granting the variance under the 6 elements. If I could please get a motion to approve this variance request.
A motion to approve?
I'll second that.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
Okay, pursuant to LDR Section 2.17F, all decisions of the Board of Adjustment are final based on the entire record before it. The Board of Adjustment approves the variance solely for the purposes presented at the meeting. Chair, that concludes the board order for the side street setback. I'll now read the board order for the front street setback. This is the Board of Adjustment final board order for file number 2024-047 for the property located at 690 Eagle Circle. It's consideration of a variance request of Land Development Regulations Section 4.3.4K to allow a front setback of 23 feet. Pursuant to the Land Development Regulations Section 2.4.11A5, following consideration of all the evidence and testimony, the Board of Adjustments for the City of Delray Beach finds as follows. 1, that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land structure or building involved and which are not generally applicable to other land structures or buildings subject to the same zoning.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
2, that literal interpretation of the regulations would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties subject to the same zoning.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
3, that the special conditions and circumstances have not resulted from actions of the applicant.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kasser is absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
4, that granting the variance will not confer onto the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other land structures and buildings under the same zoning.
Laura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kessler's absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
5, that the reasons established in the variance petition justify the granting of the variance, that the variance is the minimum variance that will make possible a reasonable use of the land, building, or structure.
Aura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kessler's absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
And 6, that the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of existing regulations and will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the public welfare.
Aura Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kessler's absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
Okay. The board has established that the 6 elements required have been supported by the evidence and that granting of this variance should be appropriate. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Motion to approve.
Approve.
There you go. Second.
Alec, Aurora Ramirez,
Yes.
Brenda Cullinan,
Yes.
John DeLacio,
Yes.
Jesse Slasser,
Yes.
Tiana Morales,
Yes.
Richard Kessler's absent, Alec Hayes.
Yes.
Pursuant to LDR Section 2.17F, all decisions of Board of Adjustment are final based on the entire record before. The Board of Adjustment approves the variance solely for purposes presented at the meeting. That concludes the board orders for this item. Chair.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Do you guys need anything else from me?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Fulfilled.
And reports and comments, anything from staff?
Just your next meeting is scheduled for May 2nd. At the moment, we don't have anything scheduled. I don't anticipate any items. If something comes up, well, let me rephrase that. We'll let you know at least a week before the meeting to confirm that we're canceling, but for now, just keep it on. I just wanted to give a heads up that that's what we're anticipating. As always, if you can't make the meeting, just always let us know so that we know. And then after that, the next scheduled meeting would be June 6th. But again, we'll confirm, once we know for sure, we'll confirm whether we have a meeting or not, but it won't be less than a week before the meeting.
Okay, good.
Due to no items anyways. So that's all we have right now.
Thank you. Anything from William?
Nothing, Chair. Thank you.
Anything that board members would like to discuss? Right. Thank you
Nothing.
then.
Thank you all.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
That was, I think, the quickest meeting ever.
Good job.